throwing insults.
Hello, I'm going to give you some lessons in motorsport. Lesson number 1, rallying. You go from A to B, one at a time, against the clock. Lesson number 2, racing. You're against the other fellow, going round and round in circles. Lesson number 3, racing and rallying are different, never the twain shall meet. But lesson number 4, the annual Race of Champions here in Gran Canaria breaks all those rules.
The event takes place in a natural bowl, with the rally stage looped round into a closed circuit. 2 drivers in identical cars start out at the same time as if in a race, but their lanes are separated. The one on the outside has to go further, so to make it fair, build in a crossover point. Then, at the end of lap 1, they'll have swapped over. Do one more lap and each car will have covered the same distance and gone over exactly the same course to end up how they started out. So, whoever crosses the line first is the winner, just like in a race. The whole idea of bringing rallying skills and excitement to a wider audience was dreamt up by Michelle Mouton, the only lady driver ever to have won a World Championship event. Michelle assembles an amazing lineup of World Rally champions and rising stars for her event, but how does she manage to get them to appear for nothing?
I think it's feminine charm, maybe. I don't know, I hope. It's true that I know all of them very well because I have been competing against them.
The drivers like the event, and it certainly appeals to the spectators. The locals arrive well equipped for a good day out. Plenty of food, plenty of wine, and plenty of umbrellas.
Well, this is a turn-up. We've come all the way here to the sunny Canary Islands and look what's happening. It's pouring down. If we'd wanted this, we could have stayed at home.
I'd had the chance to ride with all of the drivers during practice the previous day as they learnt the circuit.
Carlos Sainz, twice world champion, and I'm not supposed to have favourites really, but I think he's it. All right, Carlos? Okay. Okay, we're off.
Oh, this is going to be one of the quickest rides today. Now we're coming to the water splash. Oh! Carlos Sainz. Of course, he's on home ground. He used to be the Spanish champion. This is by far the most spectacular ride I've had today. We're completely sideways. We've gone off the track. We're now straddled across a mud bank here, so this will be interesting. See if we can get off. This man just puts this car sideways the whole time. And here we're going very close to the bank there, and we're on the edge. We're up to the back of the tarmac. Very tight, very, very sideways again. And we've made it in one piece. Well, just about.
No such problems for Carlos in the proper event. But the Belgian tarmac ace Bruno Thierry, here on the inside, couldn't match him in the Toyota Celicas on the loose mud. And the story was the same for Bruno when they swapped to the Ford Escorts for the second heat. So Carlos was through to the semi-final. European champion Armin Schwartz was really under pressure against Didier Auriol, aware that the Frenchman had already won the event twice. But that was a jump start. It meant a 10-second penalty for RAC rally winner Armin, leading here on the inside. It's impossible to make up that sort of deficit in a 2-minute sprint. So he had to win the second heat in the Escort Cosworth, this time starting from the inside of the track. Didier was enjoying himself in the Cosworth, a little different from the ambulance he used to drive in the south of France. But Armin had no answer behind the wheel of his new World Championship mount. Didier did a little rearranging of the barriers, but led Armin home to win in style. Next up, the first Scandinavians, with the young lion Jarmo Kutuletto challenging veteran Stig Blomqvist here on the inside. Stig had just finished third on the RAC and was enjoying the limelight.
It's nice to be competing with all the big boys again.
Stig didn't have to worry too much about Jarmo. On the inside here, he slides wide into the deep mud and loses a second or two. It was enough to hand Stig victory in the Salikas. Jarmo was spectacular, but couldn't match the master in the escorts either. Stig was through.
Now this is the final bend, the final corner, where all the cars have been up on the bank. Oh, look what I've found! There we are. A souvenir from Cuteletto from the Toyota. I'll take it back to them.
The last quarter-final pitted François Delacour against 4 times world champion Juha Kankkunen. François was angry about not having a regular drive in the World Series, and the fiery Frenchman was out to prove a point to the rallying establishment.
I think at the moment everybody has a big motivation because it's important for everybody to win. The situation is so difficult now in rally to get a good drive, and then I think everybody has a good motivation.
Juha has a secure place with Toyota, so maybe the ice-cool Finn wasn't so bothered when François beat him in the first heat.
This one always like I have been, you need so much luck and to get the good car, and it's question or the tenths or the seconds, so you never know what happens, but just have good fun anyway.
But Juha looked pretty serious when they swapped to the escorts, and François was almost manic in his determination. Coming to the last corner, it could be anyone's race. Juha outside, François on the inner. Neither was very tidy, and it was desperately close. Juha's up the bank. François clouts the Armco. Juha has it by a whisker. It meant a third deciding heat, also in the Mike Little escorts. At the end of lap 1, Juha had a lead, but it wasn't very big. He's really trying now. But François' hungry. He's up the bank, but the Frenchman's got it.
So now it's time for the semi-final and the lineup. Auriol versus Sainz and Blomqvist versus Delacour. It's going to be great.
The experienced Auriol on the outside against the Spanish master Sainz. Not a fan of these short sprints. Didier on the first lap, jumping at 90 miles an hour. Carlos on the second lap, dipping the nose a little. Round the hairpin, Carlos is too wide and he's in the bank. Into the last bend, and it's another tight one. Carlos on the left by 1/100th of a second. The second heat, and Carlos is back in a Salika and flying. Literally. Under the bridge, and he's in trouble with a puncture on the left front tyre. No chance in this heat, and then calamity. He loses the third as well.
Well, Didier Auriol has just made himself the most unpopular man here in Gran Canaria. He's beaten the local hero Carlos Sainz, and the crowd is silent.
The second semi-final was less dramatic. Stig was beaten easily in the escorts, but in the Toyota Team Europe Salikas, he put up a mighty defence against last year's champion, François Delacour. Into the last bend, it was pretty close, but we had an all-French final. Didier Auriol, winner in 93 and 94, against François Delacour, winner in 95. François on the outside, Didier on the inside. Ironically, neither of them had a regular World Championship drive in 96, but 97 was still undecided. François perfect at the jump. They both have a go at the barriers. Didier leads by half a second and jumps mightily. But the hairpin is tidy on the loose. On the final bend, he's safely home. So into the escorts, and Didier can tie it all up if he wins this one. He's fast and neat at the start. On the loose, he takes a tight line through the mud, saving tenths of a second, and he's got it all under control at the end of the race to take victory for the third time in 4 years.
DJ was very good, very fast, and I've done the maximum, but DJ was better.
And the Frenchman, congratulations Didier again.
It's always different. It's not a rally, it's not a stage. But still, I think I don't forget to drive, so that is not bad.
And Didier's reward was a drive in an escort when the new World Championship season opened on the Monte Carlo rally last week.